Lil Durk's lawyers recently made a big move by presenting strong evidence that forced the court to take another look at his bond hearing. This tactic feels similar to some used in the YSL trial. In a key statement tied to the murder-for-hire case, Durk's producer revealed something crucial. His feature on the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was actually recorded 7 months before the incident it's being linked to. To back this up, the court documents even included proof, an attachment showing the original project file's creation date, confirming it was made well before anything happened.
The song's lyrics seem to connect to Lil Durk's inner circle. One of his close associates shared that they had an address for the location, hinting that Quando Rondo and his group may have been tracked. Brick Baby, another loyal member of Durk's crew, added to the buzz, saying he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location without a second thought if Durk had asked. His reasoning? Pure loyalty.
If this is even true, but 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar? Sure. I said if he make the call right now, I'd up in.
After Lil Durk's controversial lyrics sparked a storm, prosecutors started digging deeper, uncovering evidence that could link him to even more serious accusations. Recently, a report and newly unsealed court documents from Chicago revealed claims that Durk may have been involved in the death of Stephen Mack. It's believed Mack was targeted as payback for the tragic loss of Durk's brother, D-Thang, who was killed on January 27, 2022. While no official charges have been filed yet, the unsealed documents suggest Durk is being investigated ahead of his detention hearing. On top of that, his name is now being tied to several murder-for-hire cases. With so much piling up, many believe federal prosecutors could be aiming for the toughest punishment possible, or worse. To make things even more intense, an old Instagram post from Durk has resurfaced where he wrote, "For Thang." Prosecutors are also pointing to a live video clip as part of their evidence, adding more fuel to the growing fire around him.
Prosecutors are now building a timeline for when Lil Durk's Instagram Live actually happened. Many believe it was streamed shortly after Lil Pop was killed. They've even made the video public, claiming it's more proof connecting Durk to the people behind Lil Pop's death. In the clip, Durk is seen hanging out with 3 of the suspects. At one point, someone is heard saying, "Go over there, boss. Yuga, my boy. Things just got real in here, man," because he just stepped in the money. Things have only gotten worse for Durk in jail. As more evidence stacks up, he's had to move to a different cell block, making his situation even tougher. There's speculation that some of his crew might have been planning revenge for King Von even before Von's tragic death, but not everyone agrees on that. Charleston White, however, has no pity for rappers caught up in trouble. He's been outspoken about how they shouldn't get special treatment. When talking about YNW Melly, he said he didn't care if Melly was being mistreated in jail. "I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated," White said. "Homie, when you take a life, you lose the right to complain about anything." The talk about mistreatment in jail has sparked debate, with many saying it's hard to feel bad for someone when they've been calling the shots. Unfortunately for Lil Durk, the investigation keeps adding more pressure, and it's making him look worse as things unfold. On the other side, rumors suggest that Quando Rondo has been going after Durk behind bars, asking for money and commissary support as a way to get revenge. According to Durk's lawyers, his sudden transfer to another prison was because of problems within his cell block. Being a famous rapper has made him a target, with other inmates pressuring him for cash and perks. Durk! Adding to the drama, both Lil Tim and Quando Rondo spoke out in interviews about Durk's case that same week. While their comments were similar, Lil Tim's words caught the most attention. Reflecting on the situation, he said, "Man, I wish none of this had ever happened. I was just protecting my little brother." No disrespect to anyone, but Lil Durk's friend Ju made it clear he's not into clout chasing or saying disrespectful things. He's a humble person and doesn't want to get caught up in negativity. Ju pointed out that while Durk has support from his family and friends, right now it feels like he's alone. He believes Durk sacrificed a lot for a conflict that his crew wanted to end. At the end of the day, Jar feels that all the drama is unnecessary. He said the situation could have been handled in a much better way, maybe with a song and a $3 million deal, rather than all the violence. There was a chance for things to be worked out through music and business instead of fighting. But things are getting more intense. There are rumors coming from the courthouse about a leaked report that's fueling Quando Rondo's desire for revenge. This report is apparently the first evidence being revealed in court about the OTF case. Some say there's even footage showing OTF planning to target Quando Rondo's crew. On top of that, the court just announced that Lil Durk might now face charges in a second murder-for-hire case, which could make everything even more complicated. Things are looking much worse for Lil Durk, as the feds believe he paid to have 2 people taken out. The first person is Stephen Mack, the man accused of killing Durk's brother, D. Thang. The second is OTF Jam's baby mama, who died shortly after Durk discovered that Jam had been wearing a wire. The authorities think that OTF Jam could be the key to linking Durk to all 3 of these crimes. What's really grabbing attention is an old Instagram live with Off Jam and Durk. Fans have pointed out that in the video, Jam keeps tugging at his jacket in a way that makes it look like he's hiding a wire. It's a move that looks like he's wearing a wire, something straight out of old school investigation tactics. At one point, Jam even says, "I ain't gonna lie, man, when I was growing up, what happened too," but trails off, adding to the mystery.
But not everyone agrees with the rumors. DJ Academic spoke to his sources and made it clear that Vonnie, OTF Von, is not snitching. He explained that sometimes when people post things online, it can be misinterpreted. The truth is often much more complicated than what we see at first glance, and there's still a lot more to this story than what's been shared so far. Here's a headline that's making a lot of noise. Lil Durk found out his co-defendant, OTF Vonnie, King Von's cousin, filed for protective custody when they went to court. Sounds pretty wild, right? And this is exactly why we have these streams. I'm not here to point fingers at anyone or pretend like I've never made a mistake. My goal is always to get the facts right and never mislead anyone on purpose. That's why we like to break things down and go through the details, so everyone can get a clear picture. Headlines can sound way more dramatic than the truth sometimes. So to clear things up, Lil Durk called and made sure to set the record straight. He confirmed that Vonnie is not snitching and that neither he nor Von would be put into protective custody. Durk also said he's doing well, staying positive, and just wants to get back to his kids and family. So don't believe everything you see in the headlines. Sometimes the truth is much simpler than it looks. Even with all this, Durk had too much to lose and wasn't about to let OTF Jam snitch on him. Eventually, Jam was caught by other OTF members hiding in a house in Atlanta. Sources say Jam is now facing serious consequences for allegedly betraying Durk and cooperating with the authorities. While OTF Jam is reportedly cooperating with authorities, another rapper, Brick Baby, has also been under the spotlight. However, Brick Baby hasn't been heard from since the news broke, and no one knows what happened to him. A picture of Jam's living situation was even released, which has only added to the drama. This situation has raised more questions about Lil Durk's involvement, especially when it comes to Lil Pob's tragic death. Durk had spoken about it in an interview, but his comments seemed to make people doubt his role in what happened to Lil Pob. At the same time, 5 Chicago gang members with connections to OTF are facing accusations of being involved in a plot to harm Quando Rondo during the LA incident. The indictment says their flights and rental cars were paid for using credit cards linked to OTF. This raises the big question: was it really an attempt to hurt Rondo, or was it all just a big misunderstanding? Some people are trying to downplay the whole situation, but the consequences could be serious. With FG Cash now facing federal charges in California, it's clear that this story is far from over. The investigation continues, and there's a lot more to come. OTF has decided to stop keeping an eye on Lil Durk after a big revelation in court. It turns out Durk found out that his co-defendant, OTF Vaughn, had filed for protective custody when they appeared together in court this week. The first person to notice was Bazoo, Lil Durk's close friend. Bazoo wasn't having any of the rumors and jumped in to defend his friend. He said, "Don't be throwing out false accusations. Y'all don't even know what's going on. Y'all out here acting like detectives, trying to figure out stuff that doesn't even make sense. It's crazy. First, you're saying Jam's the problem. Now you're calling people snitches without knowing the full story. That's why I don't get involved in anything illegal, because y'all just want to see people get locked up."
We're not out here glorifying negativity. We're more than just street guys, honestly. That's an understatement. We're men of honor who follow a code, no matter how much money we have. We stay true to the people around us, and we don't hide in protective custody. That's just not how we roll. If you need anything, you know I got you, no matter what. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you have. When we're solid, we've got each other's back, no questions asked. Once we're down, everything is shared, no hesitation. But even with that, DJ Academics thinks it might not be the best idea for Lil Durk to talk about all of this publicly. Academics respects Durk, but he believes that since Durk is fighting for his life, addressing the situation out in the open might not be the smartest move. He said, "I get it, maybe Durk wants to speak out to his people, but I still think it's a bad idea. Putting all of this out there might not be the right move right now." What he's trying to say to the public is that there's no need for all this back and forth. Honestly, a lot of the conversation feels like maybe Lil Durk didn't mean to communicate with everyone in this way. Everything he says is going to get attention, and even if his intentions are good, it might not come across the way he wants. When he talks about not being motivated by money and other things like that, it just doesn't sound quite right when it's out there for everyone to hear. The way it's being shared makes it all feel off, even if that wasn't his goal.